Good morning, Teller County. I wanted to sit down this morning with two friends. This is Ginger Slocum. She is the superintendent of the Woodland Park High School and School District, and this is Chief Deisler, whom we all know and love from the Woodland Park Police Department. So what I wanted to do this morning was talk about the relationships and what we're doing with the school and the security, and just really the discussions we've had and what our concerns are and our priorities are for kids throughout the community.
Absolutely.
So, Chief, you want to start us out?
Well, first, good morning. This is always an interesting time, and we always have a good time coming to talk to you about some of the stuff that's going on. It's nice to have Ginger here. She and I have a relationship from many years back when she was a principal. So, first, the thing is, we've never stopped focusing on school security. I think the sheriff and I will agree that we've been in lockstep from day one. And I think what's important to remember is going forward, having more avenues to get together and talk about the things that are important and kind of make sure everybody's on the same page has never left our focus. So I'm happy to have this opportunity, happy to be here, happy to share information with all of you so that everybody understands that we have been on the same page and will continue to move the school safety forward in the best way we can.
And I think for me, we're excited to work with you, Ginger. I think this will be good. Ginger's from the area, has kids here. My kids grew up here. I think having that community-based school district is something we're pretty excited for.
And I would agree with you. I really feel like in the past few years, we've lost touch with some of our community relationships that are really important to our school district. And so one of my goals right now is to rebuild our relationships, work collaboratively with the city police and also the county, because it really takes a whole team to make sure that our students are safe on a daily basis.
And it really does take a whole team. We've seen it over the years. There's so much involved in school security, and it takes so many of us to work together. And I know from my experiences, it really is families that get involved, and really the students have to be involved, and the school district, the law enforcement organizations, and that's what really makes a good, round, robust security is everybody paying attention to their environment and their community. So that's huge. I'm excited to be a part of that again.
Yeah, Sheriff, one of the things that you just mentioned is the experiences that you've had in your career and the things that you've done on the security side and then within the sheriff's office. And I think one of the interesting things is how bringing some of the things that I was involved in back in my old organization and some of the things that were on the cutting edge of school safety and security back there, we've been really had an easy time to integrate those here. And you share things and I share things, and we all put stuff on the table. And what sometimes happens is, and then everybody probably understands this too, is egos oftentimes get in the way when we make decisions like this. And that's never been an issue between our departments, and I think that's pretty unique, actually.
And I agree. And I think, too, having someone that's from our local area and that is focused on kids in the community and really the organization as a whole is really a great thing to be a part of and working with. The Teller County has really the two school districts. It's the RE1, which is Cripple Creek, and then you have the Woodland Park School area. And I would think, for having the two different groups, everything does pretty well within the community. I mean, and we have great kids, great parents, and just a great community. And it's something that I think was sort of lost there for a while. And I think the creation of having these meetings that we've been sitting and talking and working together and having a relationship, because I think all things start with a relationship, and that's Absolutely. The key.
And I will say, having been raised in a small town, small community, I understand that culture. I do feel like we lost some of that, and one of my goals is really to bring that back to our school district. Like I said, to reconnect with many community groups that we have lost touch with. The other thing I want to say is that I'm really thankful for this relationship and rebuilding it, because as a principal, I've worked in 3 different school districts. I started out in Pueblo, and in that school district, we got a lot of training right off the bat for safety and security because it was a large district and it was an urban area. And then I moved from Pueblo to Platte Canyon School District, where Platte Canyon School District was a small rural area in Park County, but they had experienced a school shooting a few years before I arrived, so there was a lot of lessons learned a lot of growth and a lot of very strict safety and security that we followed there. And then coming to Woodland Park, which is larger than Platte Canyon, but definitely smaller than Pueblo, I noticed right off the bat that I felt like we had some areas that we could improve. And so now that I'm in this position, I have the means to be able to do that. And I appreciate the people that you have working with me, the collaboration we're doing with other school districts to rebuild a more robust emergency response plan. And so we're at the beginning of that, but I do feel like we're moving quickly and in the right directions.
Yeah, and I think that's the nice thing about having a sit down and being able to talk and discuss those issues, and without the worry that it's taken over or it's going to be dropped. Because I think that's been the concern for both of us has been, we've worked with so many different administrations over the last few years, and it gets dropped. And I think that's the concern we have, and we're always standing ready. Our officers are always training, but it's that interaction within the school that we were missing. And I think now having that's a huge plus for the whole community, the school district, and then the local law enforcement that have to deal with those things. So,
you and I oftentimes talk about too, even on the law enforcement level, of the one county mentality. We as the city have a small piece of that puzzle, but the mindset operationally is we operate on a one county philosophy. So our folks are your folks are our folks, and we all just come together to get the job done, and that's also very unique.
well, and I think too, and this is one of those hot topic buttons I probably shouldn't even talk about, but I think is for us doing security in the school and really making sure kids, it's bipartisan, right? It's not Republican, it's not Democrat, it should be agnostic. We're going to plug in and work with everyone to make sure that school district is safe and that it's friendly and that we're able to work with students and be a part of the program.
Right.
And I think that integration of law enforcement into that and the integration of parents and families and as a community is really the success of a good program and a good school district and a good law enforcement organizations. So, and over the years we've seen the pull from different organizations wanting control of a school. But I would tell you, it should all be about those kids. And really, that's our concern, I think, as leaders in education and then law enforcement and how we look at things. We don't care about all those different angles. Right. We care about one thing, and that's those schools are safe and that students don't have to live in fear, and that families, when they send their kids to school, shouldn't live in fear. Sure. So our concern is, I believe, from sitting in meeting, is to make the best program available to our county and our school districts.
It's a lot of times where we fail as law enforcement leaders is when we lose sight of the common goal. And when we get wrapped up in the noise, that's where we oftentimes have problems. And I can say unequivocally, we've never gotten wrapped up in the noise. We've always had a common focus, a common goal, and now having other players on the team only enhances the relationship. So it's good.
Yeah.
And I would agree. I think the noise is a distraction, and our goal should always be focusing on our students, their safety, their education, and giving them the best opportunities when they graduate from high school to go out and be good citizens, whether it's going to college, working in a trade, whatever it is, that's the best path forward for them. And that starts with helping students feel safe at school.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so very much, Teller County. I think that this has been a good session, and we just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about it and see what our thoughts were and explain where we're at. And we want you to have a great day and a safe day, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you all.
Thank you.